Hi guys. You already know. It's your boy. Today's episode gets deep, man. Practically deep conversations, you know. Or my first conversation, I start with this guy. His name is kokoVRX, and he goes around and he kind of does what I do in like short form content. He finds people with a question. You know, he gets, you know, right down to the answer, and he goes on to the next, and him and I kind of talk about like our similarities in our content, and you know, share what him and I do in terms of like our content and stuff. So he asks me a couple of questions, I ask him a couple of questions, and it's really cool. I have a couple more deep conversations with people. I'm going to be periodically throughout the episode kind of giving a little bit more context to what we're talking about before the conversation starts, so that you can get a better understanding going forward. So yeah, alright, I don't have anything else more to say, and I don't like intros. Alright, enjoy the show.
So two things that I learned the hard way is, the first thing is that you can't change people's opinions of yourself. Actually, three things. I'm just doing the three. You can't change other people's opinion of yourself. Try to find a reason, an excuse to love yourself. Still working on that, because you'll become so much more successful if you love yourself right now, because then you'll do things for yourself instead of for others. And the third thing is to read. Reading is so powerful. There's so many like smart people out there. I read this book. You may know him, Jordan Peterson. He's kind of a political nut now, but he made some great a good book that really took me out of the dumps. 13 Rules for Life. I had a very nihilistic perspective, and it teaches you about different like philosophies. I'm a big thinker. I think a lot about life. So there's like different ways how you can perceive it. Obviously, you know what a nihilist is, I'm assuming. It's somebody who thinks, oh, what's the point? There's no meaning. There's no like after or whatever. And there's like another like philosophy called existentialism, which is like going about the world because it's crazy, it's absurd. The whole idea of this all is absurdity. So, you know, it's basically YOLO. Might as well make the best of it. And there's another one I can't remember, but yeah, it's like just a changing your perspective on. Oh, and stoicism, but everyone knows stoicism. You know, be stoic, just going for that grind muscle set. And yeah, sorry, I just word vomited, but I hope that answers your question.
It's okay. You said I appreciate it. I had a lot of insight from that. Thank you. Are you set up, my fellow content creator?
I'm ready.
He usually kidnaps people to his own worlds.
Yeah, I usually bring people to a different world to chat. I mean, we don't have to do that. I sometimes
that would be awesome for the video though, and I can make it a whole segment.
If you want,
I'll do it. Yeah, dude, let's do it. All right, let's get started. So, would you like me to say my question first, or do you have a question for me?
Go ahead. I like this dynamic because you do something very similar that I do, where you kind of do the same thing in your own way, in your own foundation. Mm-hmm. You know, where you're getting people's perspectives. And I think that's pretty rad. I think that's pretty rad.
Thank you. I talk to a lot of people, and I'm like, you know what? I really enjoy this, and I feel like some people have something they want to share. So I kind of give them a platform to like say what they want to say. Sometimes it's silly, and sometimes it's serious, and that's what I really like about what I do. It's fun. But let me get down to the business. Why I'm here. Obviously, other than to say hello, blah blah blah. Do you have any advice for someone who's feeling down in the dumps? Just like a general depressive spiral?
I would say that, you know, it's very easy to let dark thoughts. It's very easy to let, you know, what's going around you that's bad kind of stack up, right? It's easy to get swirled into these depressive thoughts, right? But I have a couple things really to state, and that is like the first thing really is that when you're thinking about these things, it's easy to get anxious. It's easy to be like, what the fuck am I gonna do, and all these different things, right? The best thing I tell people, and I tell people this on the podcast as well, and that is that anxiety seeks certainty. And what that means is like when you're trying to think about things that either haven't happened yet, right, or things you just don't know about. And so when you can acknowledge that, it's easy to like, the better you can acknowledge that, the easier it is to kind of like, all right, take a step back. Like, where are you right now, right? And to be down in the dumps, like, people go through waves of emotions, right? It's easy to like get into these cycles of like, you know, low self-esteem and all these things. I think the better you can understand that, like, you know, life is a wave of going through things, right? You're going to be sad, right? But then things get good, and yeah, you're happy again, and that persists. But then things take a turn, you know, something gets thrown your way, and you go back down. And I think the better you can understand that, like, all right, this is just what's in my life right now, right? This is not permanent. The better you can understand that, I think the better of a level head you can have and be content that, like, this is it. And that's something that I've learned fairly recently, in the past year, I would say. And, like, you know, I mean, I know I'm kind of spiraling here, but
no, it's okay. It's okay.
You know, understand that life is a wave, and that anxiety seeks certainty, right? Like, these things contribute to how you go about life, you know. So the more comfortable you can be with that fact, I think the better you can be content with where you are with things.
Wow, that was really deep. Thank you. So I've been told a lot of advice while I was doing this video. If I had to sum it up real quick, drink lean. If you're over 18, masturbate and forget about it. Do drugs. Fuck with a broad. Seek therapy. Friends are important. Do hobbies that you enjoy. And for some reason, I got chased by a bunch of cats that were trying to steal my money. So it has been a very interesting journey so far.
Right.
But off that note, do you have anything for me? Is there a question that's brewing? Maybe if you want to ask what I asked you. Let's hear your input for a second.
What would you say personally that you have, like, gathered from everything, like from conversating with these people? Where are you with things, you know, after collecting all this knowledge?
I have seen a lot of different perspectives and people actually going through the same thing that, like, they're trying to give advice for. I've gotten a lot of, believe it or not, people being like, how do I give advice when I'm also down in the dumps? And it's like, what I do, obviously funny, haha, give it a shot anyways, but it's like, makes me realize that, like, hey, there's people out there who are on here and you think it's all just like fun and games and I'm in a good mood, but there are some people out here who's just like, I'm sad and I want to talk to people. And like, from the people I've gathered, like, people taking it seriously and not, it's just, how do I say this? I think it's good to be around people. I know some people don't like that, and everybody has a way of feeling better, but I really appreciate the people who are, like, staying out there and being like, hey, I'm in the same scenario, here's what I can do to help you. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, that's actually really sweet. Like, I've gotten somebody who's like, obviously, how do I help someone if I'm already down in the dumps? And I was like, just give it a shot anyways. And they just kind of looked at me and went, it will be okay. And it's just like the words like that where I'm like, whoa. You can tell that like they wanted to hear that themselves. And it's really cool to see that. And of course, it's also like the funny stuff that happens when you ask that, like, doing all of this not only made me understand that, like, hey, there's people not feeling good right now, but also, like, the general, how do I say this? I love VRChat people because it's such a, like, our community, it's such a grab bag of different and interesting people, and I just, like, love all of them so much. But to get to the point, what I've gathered is, honestly, if I had to sum it up, do what you like doing. That was the most popular one I've gotten, and obviously seek therapy. But doing what you like doing was my most popular one, and it seems to be like what people, how people get out of what they're feeling. And personally, I believe that myself. Like, what do I like doing? I like talking to people, and I like making videos. And it has, I actually have a story real quick. This is going to be a little personal, but I actually started this YouTube because I was ghosted by a girl I thought I was really going for. I went on a dating app, we talked a lot, and we were going to go to the mall, but I was completely ghosted. And in that moment, I was like, obviously, it was like, it's so over. What am I going to do? But I thought about it, and I was like, if to relating it to the wisdom, do what you like doing. So I was like, you know what? I like talking to people, and I want other people to laugh with me. So I started the YouTube, and it has been a wonderful experience so far.
I'd say do what you like doing. Like, you can't summarize it any better than that. You know,
It may be simple.
Do what
but
you like
just
fucking doing. I don't know if I can curse on your podcast, on your thing.
You can cuss. Sailor Mouth on the channel.
You can curse on mine too. I don't give a fuck.
Nice.
Do
shit that's fun. Like, I know it may be hard right now.
Not only that, but do, like, I've talked to a lot of people, like, in a work-life balance, you know, trying to figure out, like, all right, what's the career I'm doing? And it's the same kind of thing. Like, take the steps to do what you want to do. Not even just, like, in VRChat, but, like, what's the job that you want to do? Like, what's the entrance, you know, to your career, you know, and stuff like that. No, I agree. I agree with that a lot.
It's just like, again, it seems simple, but I have gotten the most success from it. So, to just as a takeaway, if you are particularly feeling sad, even if it's something small, like eating your favorite food or drawing or whatever, I think that small step is really what you need to feel like you're gonna be okay.
Here's another thing I can add on to that too, is like,
yeah,
the hardest part for people to get into things that they want to do is the initiative. It's that first step, right? But it doesn't just end there. It's, what's the next day look like? When's the initiative in the next day to do that, right? It's a disciplinary kind of thing. You know, it's like every day it's, you gotta get out and do this, you know, until it just becomes part of your life.
And that's also another thing. The initiative is probably the hardest part.
It is. Oh my god, it is.
Better. It is so difficult. I know it. I come from it. The initiative, the start. But if you need to hear this, if anybody needs to hear this, just do it. Just fuck it. Whatever you're doing, if you're eating, if you're watching right now at work, quit right now.
Just do it, dude.
Just Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Quit your fucking job and go out there and do what you wanted to do. If you wanted to ask that girl out or a guy out, fuck it. Just send it, okay? You may fail spectacularly, and there's a chance for that. There's always a chance for that for everything. but you'll never know unless you try. Albert Einstein probably said that exact same quote.
Really?
Probably. I don't know. Probably. Fuck. I don't know.
Albert Einstein said verbatim, Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
Yes. Well, yeah, other than that, do you have anything else for us?
Would you say that, like, doing this has been, like, I know you said that this girl ghosted you and stuff, but would you say that, like, doing this has benefited your mental health? Like, has gaining this knowledge helped you?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I've been like getting the knowledge from other people or from starting my YouTube.
Both.
So from the knowledge I've gotten from other people, it actually just like made me actually think about it. Like, these people are getting like really deep into it. Like, I had someone, if I can remember, they were like a Buddha, and they were like, not only do it for yourself, but also do it for the people looking down at you and for you, like spiritually, like do it for the dead. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty inspiring, at least for me. Like, I think about it, and it's like, I like the idea of doing it not only for me, but also for other people. I like being helpful, I'm going to be honest. And it's also just people being like, again, do what you like doing. It's that positive reinforcement that not only do I feel like other people can find value in that, but I find value in that myself.
Oh, there's some,
even if I
there's
know
some
it,
phrase I heard recently that was like, you have to start the hope for it to feel the room, or to fill the room, or something like that. I kind of forget, but it was something like that.
yeah, that's
like hope
that's
doesn't
okay. I don't
just
remember what
hope
it
is not just given to you. You have to fuel the hope yourself.
Yeah. But it's, again, it's the initiative, other people. It's nice to hear advice, even when I feel like I don't need it now. I might look back at this video and just be like, maybe, you know, obviously they're right, but I should take this more to heart. Like, this is stuff that can actually help me. And also, the funny people who make me giggle. Those are really important too. I like watching my videos back sometimes because of just the funny shit I like was there for. I need to look back at this stuff, but
you can't be a content creator and not go back and listen to what you made. No one does that.
Yeah,
no one doesn't go back.
I don't want to.
No one doesn't not go back and listen to what they've done. You know.
Sometimes I'll watch my own shit and be like, "Fuck, that's so funny."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's the same thing for me. 100%.
I don't want to feel like an ego, but like, man, sometimes I'm like, dude, that is the best shit ever.
I feel like there's a difference between having an ego towards something and feeling like, all right, I'm so satisfied with how this came out with something I've
did
created.
that. That's really funny. It's especially in my like video about wisdom, my intro. I love it so much. If you guys remember watching that, if you watched it, go watch it. With the frog with the hat that just says "I have uber autism" and zooming in on his face. I don't know how I got that shot, but it was gold. And I like when I was editing that, I couldn't help but giggle the whole time. I love it so much. You probably had a moment like that too on your podcast, yeah?
A little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Come on, there's got to be a moment you remember.
Let me think really quick. Well, I haven't had anything that's like really like got a hit, you know. But regardless of that, I mean, who gives a fuck about that? I would say I've had a good handful of stuff like that. You know, I've had really good talks with people, and I like when I go back and listen to my podcast, it's not about what I'm saying, it's about what the other people are saying. It's about like, you know, I'm infatuated with these stories that I hear. You know, I really like. I mean, I like. There was this one about this guy who got in a really bad breakup and like he was working in government, moved across the country, he just drove until he found a spot, you know, that kind of thing. But on his way there, he was at a gas station and there was this stray dog that was like, coyotes were like howling around this place, like waiting for this dog to move, and this guy like took him in, you know, and brought him with him, and now he has like this best friend. And like there's that, and then there's like this other guy who you know, he was running from the cops, and like, you know, kind of wasn't really giving a fuck about it. But then like he was drunk, and because he was drunk, he could like chat with these officers, and like, you know, he wasn't consenting for like tests and stuff like that. And now, I mean, and he got away with it like in the best possible way, right? And then but now he's like, he's married and he has a kid, and he has a kid on the way, and he has a business, and like, you know, just stuff like that. You know, I love that.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's the reason, and you know, like you, that's the reason I do this, is like you hear all these people. And before I did this podcast, I'd conversate with people and they'd share me all these stories, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I like could have this I wish I was doing this podcast way later than when I started it, you know, for things like
when
that.
I tell you, I felt the exact same thing. I felt the exact same fucking thing. There are moments before I started this YouTube where I'm like, not only were they funny, but I said some fucking stupid shit, and that is the most hilarious thing ever. God, I wish I would just do it. And man, it has been the best decision I've made so far, other than getting a job.
Well,
that's been pretty good too.
Hold on. Let's dive into that really quick. All right. Let's go into my section of shit. All right. Because
here we go.
You said this is the best thing you've done since getting a job. But what is this job that you do?
I like, on the side, I'm a baker. I make bread and cookies. That's what I do, and it is probably the best fucking thing I've done. I've worked like 2 other jobs. I've been cleaning toilets at a fancy hotel and making pizzas. The pizzas were fun because I knew everybody and I'd like to chat their ears off, and it was my first job. 50% off pizzas that were fucking delicious. Cleaning toilets at a fancy restaurant. Have you ever flushed the shit from someone's unflushed toilet from a Raider? Like, you know, the football team? I had to flush a toilet that someone left unflushed from an official Raider, like, team member. And, like, I'm not saying that was one of the moments where I felt like quitting, but I definitely was looking at myself like, are we fucking serious?
Wait, hold on. Let's back up. So at this, you worked at a pizzeria.
Yeah.
You worked at a pizzeria, and you had the fucking, I forget where they are now. Yeah, the Oakland Raider, the NFL team, fucking come in.
The NFL team.
And so one of these guys left a shit, and you had to go in and flush it.
It wasn't at the pizzeria. It was at this fancy hotel. I'm not gonna say this, but it was at this fancy fucking hotel. Very bougie.
Where are they now? And Los Angeles?
Las Vegas. They're in Vegas.
Las Vegas. Okay.
But I had
Las Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders flush their shit out their toilet like they're a fucking baby. And then now we're running on the Raiders stuff.
How do you know for sure that it was a player from the Las Vegas
Raiders?
Raiders?
Because I had to, they let me know, like, I had my cleaning cart and everything. I was about to go into my floor, and they were like, hey, by the way, no fucking photography, no asking for autographs, because you're on the floor where all the Raiders are. And I'm like, are you serious? Look, I'm glad I don't care about sports, but okay. And let me tell you, these rooms were fucking insane. So first off, that room where I had to flush down the official Raiders shit, that was one of the things I had to do. So I was like, okay, this stinks. And another room, the TV mounted on the fucking wall was ripped off. Like, cables coming down from the TV, ripped off its stand. And I'm like, what the fuck happened here? It's not my job to question it, but what? How did you... Okay, I get they're big, strong dudes, but What?
Yeah. So all right. So yeah, you were a hotel room. You were a room cleaner, right? So you were going into.
I was a room cleaner.
So you'd go into these bathrooms, and one guy left a fucking dookie.
A fucking fat
That's
log.
fucking and then I mean, there's no way that like NFL players don't party hard. They do. They're fresh out of college. You know, they're gonna do this shit.
Yeah, so they just leave dookies, rip TVs off walls, and then there's another room. They leave dookies, rip TVs off walls,
what is
and
this
there's another
room that you walked in?
It's not as like crazy, but I walked in and there was just, you know how there's like that TV mounted wall, right? And I can actually draw it right now. There's that TV mounted wall right here. Here's the TV, and there's a little stand right here, right? So I'm gonna move back a little.
My podcast is auditory, so none of this is gonna work.
That's okay. It'll be in the video.
It'll be in the video.
But there are just piles of neatly stacked, more than I make in an entire year, cologne bottles. Just across the entire table. Just cologne bottles. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, probably all of these, like, I'm talking 15 of these cologne bottles, probably $50,000, just what I make in an entire year. And I'm like, holy shit, I am a fly. I am nothing. Right? That's how I felt when I was cleaning.
Oh, you got a little existentialism as you were.
I got a little existential seeing
through all this.
Seeing cologne bottles worth more than what I'm worth. So, I'm not saying that's all that contributed to me being like, I cannot handle this, but that was definitely, you know, one fucking thing that little. And also,
did you snag one of these cologne bottles for yourself?
I did. Wait, I did not touch any of the cologne bottles. I feel like if I said it as a joke, I would be assassinated by an NFL branded bullet. So legally, no, I did not take any cologne bottles.
Logo on it.
Yeah, bullet with the Raiders logo on it. I will say one thing good about the job though. This is fucking insane, right? I'm gonna keep talking about the hotel because it's really fascinating. Imagine a hotel, right? Just a standard, generic. I'm gonna draw it again for the YouTube audience. Just like a tall, generic-looking hotel, right? Windows and stuff. It looks pretty. The logo, whatever. Underneath it all, there is this giant labyrinth.
When you say underneath, you mean the base, like underground, like the basement.
Yeah, underground. Okay. There's also, I will say, there's also a casino connected to this as well. There's also a casino.
It's fucking Vegas, of course.
It's fucking Vegas. There is this giant, like ants, like an ant, like fucking. It's not ants, but like you know how ants make their homes and shit, tunnels and walls and shit underneath a mound. That was what it was like under the hotel, and it was insane. There's like these mini cars driving through the halls, like
what?
Giant. Yeah. There's big auditoriums and shit. And one of the reasons why I bring this up is the food court. Oh my god, this shit was fire. It was this bougie, because it's a nice hotel. This bougie, fancy for the workers, by the way, fancy place. I'm talking free self-serve sodas, free coffee, free microwave, a fucking lounge with chargers for your phone, big couches, and fucking people who cook food for you like a cafeteria on steroids.
This is like attached to the hotel. This is like part of the whole.
All
building.
Attached
part of the
to
facility.
the hotel, under it, like a fucking Fallout bunker. And it was the most luxurious I have felt being a worker ever. If you can handle cleaning shit, oh my god. And I'm gonna mention this right now. There was one day. The food's free, by the way. Let me just add that on real quick. Fucking free food. Free refills, whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. There was a day where I got fried chicken for fucking free. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy for bumfuck free, and free and a free soda machine. And I just sat there as a king in that moment. I even took a picture of it like 3-4 years ago. I took a picture of it and I was like, I'm never gonna get this ever again, am I? Like, oh my god, I don't know how they pulled it off, but dude, something about cleaning bedrooms for 6 hours and then going down there to hot fried chicken for fucking free. Peak.
Oh, I
I'll
can
never get
imagine.
that ever again. Oh, dude, it was amazing. But that's all my like little hotel rants. And then now I work at a cute little bakery, and I don't really eat a lot of sweets, but I have like sweets at my disposal, and it's fun. And I get to smell
What
like
made you
food, like fresh
leave
bread.
this hotel and go to this bakery?
I was young and I could not handle the workload. It was a lot of work, and I was in the state of I want to find the perfect job for me. So I put
Yeah.
in my 2 weeks, and it was so brutal that I was like, I couldn't even stand the 2 weeks, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm done. It was just like a moment where I was just like, I can't do this. And that's never happened to me ever before until then. It is brutal cleaning these big rooms, and you gotta do 12 of them before a certain time. And this is when I was newer to jobs, so I was just like, how do people do this? I couldn't do it. And I quit, and I went, what do I do now? And I saw that there was a bakery spot open. I said, fuck it. Actually, no, I didn't. Oh my god. All right. This is a new segment. Okay, you ready? Because I forgot about this story. At the time,
Wait. This is
I
a new.
was-
Is this a new segment, part of the hotel, or is this like a whole different thing?
This is a new job.
Okay.
This was before I went to the bakery. Some debacle happened. So, it's at a grocery chain. It's not like a local place. It's just a Smith's, right? That I used to work at. So there's also a gas station. I actually applied to the gas station first. I went, okay, I want to go here. Remember, keep in mind, at the time I was 18. The gas station offers cigarettes. Legally, I couldn't sell cigarettes at the time. They changed it now, but at the time I couldn't sell it. So I was working there and I was doing great. And then my boss called me and was like, hey, so we kind of messed up. We hired you and you're doing great, but we didn't know you were 18, so we're gonna have to pull you out immediately. And I was like, shit. So they pulled me back to their little office and they were like, hey kid, I don't know how I earned this, but they were like, pretty much like, we like you. Pick anything else to work at, anything in the whole field. And I was like, wow, there's fucking this and that. But I thought about it and I was like, I like bread. And I get to say I'm a baker. So I was like, that one! And
and that's how you ended up at this bakery.
That's how I ended up there.
Okay, gotcha. Holy shit, man!
That was the whole thing.
Were you were 18 when you were at the hotel?
I was 18 when I was at the hotel. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
I was a young little
How
lad.
old are you now?
20.
Gotcha.
That wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah, that's recent. Holy shit.
I mean,
a
lot of shit's happened.
Yeah, everyone's got their own like comfortability in jobs, and like
I just couldn't.
in their own paces and stuff like that. And I get and like you're young, you know, you're 20 now. You're just fresh out of high school. You're a teenager still. You know, you're trying to do all this stuff. I get why.
Still moving around.
You know.
Yeah,
and you're figuring it out. This is the This is the workshop stage. You know, for you is just finding what you like. And then trying to pick a career based off of this, and yeah, but I like that you you seem like a hardworking dude, you know.
Oh, I put my effort in. I don't slack.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
It's not just because I want to please the boss. It's one of those things with me where I'm like, if I don't do my best, I'm gonna feel like I didn't do my best, and that makes me feel like shit. I like looking at my effort and being like, I did that, because, that's me. I take pride in what I do. And everything, pretty much.
That's good.
And that carries.
It's a great work ethic. That's a great work ethic. I've been to Vegas. I know what it's. I know. I've seen it. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy out there. There's a lot going on.
I have a whole fucking segment about Vegas, but I'm gonna save it.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing.
That's okay.
Let's wrap it up here, because this recording's long and I might have to make 2 videos.
I understand.
Last thoughts.
I was just thinking that.
Final thoughts?
if I can add on to the beginning,
Yeah.
about, you know, how to go through
What advice?
you know, depression. And not even just depression, but anxiety. This might sound weird, but you know, be comfortable in the uncomfortableness. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But
Do something that's
find
out of your
comfortability
shoes.
in having an anxious feeling going into something you've never done, you know, and understand that naturally you're gonna feel that. I know that's hooking a fucking Yui and going back to everything, but
No,
yeah.
that's okay.
Be comfortable. Be comfortable, you know, trying something new. Be comfortable knowing that you're not gonna know it's gonna happen. If I could ask you, is there anything you'd like to say, Coco, before we depart?
I'd like to say it's been a pleasure having you. You seem like a good person to be starting a podcast. You seem easy to talk to, and I like your avatar.
I appreciate that, brother.
But other than that, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you for sparing your time with me, and that's it. And then this is the part where I stand up and I do something. I don't remember what my outros were. Oh, it just kind of fades to black. That's all it does. It just fades.
Right.
There's a book stuck to my hand. Okay.
Wait, what's your
And
channel
then
again?
fading KOKO'VRX with C's instead of K's. With
All right, let's fade
K's
out.
instead of C's. Fuck.
Subscribe to
fading.
KOKO'VRX.
Bye bye, and then it fades, and then the audio cuts out, and then I get an
There it
outro
goes.
segment. And we're done! Yay! Expensive something. Whoa, whoa, whoa! You guys are here the whole time! Holy shit!
I know. They're all staring at us. Hi, it's me again. Post podcast Jake. I just wanted to let you know, in this next conversation, I am on desktop mode, and I'm using my other desktop mic, and that's, you know, my voice might sound a little different. I just wanted to give you a heads up because one of my controllers broke, so I had to order a new one. And also we get into a topic about at the beginning we get into a topic about VRChat's 18 plus verification, and what that is essentially you apply for a certification that you're over 18 by sending some form of identification, whether it's like a driver's license or a passport or something of the equivalence, and then VRChat gives you this little badge saying that you're over 18, and yeah, and you can only do that if you pay for VRChat's subscription, VRChat Plus. So, you know, not many people like it, but that's just how it is. So, yeah, different mic, VRChat, age verification. That's kind of what we go into in this next combo. So.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta go, buddy. Pack it up. He's a cow.
Yeah.
Do you even know what mince tastes like, mate?
I have a question.
What's the question?
Why are
I
so
fucking love
many
tasting
grown
mince.
fucking adults wanting
Stick
to
my
act
fucking
like
tongue
fucking
right in it.
children in an 18 plus server?
Yeah, and? Your point?
Great question.
It's the internet.
I don't know.
That's the
I don't
interwebs,
know.
bro.
People
Who
wanna.
is it? Spill me the
people
tea.
wanna-
Oh, who is it? Oh, we
I
should.
don't
Oh,
know.
should we act
Just
civilized?
People
Should we
upstairs
have a cup of
just-
tea and some crumpets?
no.
Yeah, we
Oh,
should. We
yeah.
should, dude. We should.
Oh
dude.
no.
I don't know what's going on behind me, but it sounds like a lot of
Let's go do
fucking
some
complaining
Charlie.
going on back
Let's
there.
go.
What's your
Thank you
problem?
for the,
No, I
thank
know,
you for the
dude.
tip.
I
I'm
Thanks
just
for the
gonna
cup
go.
of tea, mate. We're gonna peace
Thank
out.
you. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Or pip, 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 tally ho.
What?
Tally ho, man.
I don't think you were asking anything that directive. I mean, I came in here pretty late.
No, I
it didn't
asked
sound.
why are there so many grown fucking adults acting like children in
Right.
18 plus server?
Right, but
And
it
so
didn't,
I
it
think
didn't sound
the
like it was
children-
directed at him.
No, I literally, I just said that exactly. And it's just like, I did the rigorous process of getting my passport as my identification to get certified. after getting VRChat Plus, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I think I would have done better without this entire process. I genuinely feel like everybody here is just regular people. It's not even distinctive. Everybody here is just either acting like a fucking child or retarded.
All right, so are you trying to say that it's not any different? It's like nothing's changed.
Acting like nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
Right.
VRChat is shaped by the adults because we set the example.
It's just like I did so much. I put effort into getting certified when I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even think I should have. It's just, this is boring. I've gone to like 10 fucking age verification servers. They're all just the same.
What are you kind of expecting, though?
I don't know. Just people who are more mature and not trying to correct me on whether this is called an application or a game. I called VRChat an app, and this bitch tried to correct me. It's just like,
oh,
dude,
here's the great thing.
Shit.
Here's the great thing is that every game, every software, anything that has an execution file is technically an application. So you are right. But also they're right.
Everyone's right, and everyone's wrong in some way because fuck it.
Alright. I just, I don't like the fact that they're like...
I mean, yeah,
30. I've heard so many 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds even, which is insane. You're playing this at the age of 40, but so many way older people than me. They're just acting like kids. I'm being so honest. Like they're.
Yeah, they're tired.
Some of the
being
shit that
adults.
some of the shit that I've seen on this game, and like I can understand that you're tired, and like this is literally a stress reliever or whatever. You have not seen some of the shit that I've seen.
Oh,
I guarantee you guys.
VRChat is
like,
what VRChat is kind of what you make it. You know, it's you know, it's all about the people you find. And it's tricky, you know, because you're always, and I mean this with everyone, like you're always gonna run into people you don't like. It's going to happen. People are gonna run into you, and they're not gonna like you, and you're gonna run into people and not like them. You know, it will that will never ever go away. So I think it's better to just kind of accept that and like work around it. You know.
You know what? You're right.
Like why fight and complain? I'm not saying you're complaining at all, but why fight and complain that these are not the people you're looking for when you can just accept it and be like, all right, let's find the next person.
my main issue is that there's no maturity that I'm seeing, and there's no like I'm assuming what differentiated verified servers and the whole reason why you can get verified, and there's like this entire like fucking servers and shit that are verified. I would have expected much better maturity than some fucking 5-year-olds, dude. I don't know why. I just thought that there would be more well-rounded, simple-minded people at this.
Can you like tell me some experiences you've had with adults that were acting childish?
Oh my god. All right. I don't know if they were drunk or not, but 30-year-old chick was going around fucking screeching like a 12-year-old. And I don't even know why. She was just fucking screeching. And I read her bio. She was like fucking 33.
Just so I'm, are you guys doing an interview or are you just chatting? Just so I'm.
No, we're just chatting. I had brought up the problem in my experience with being on this game, that there's so many like I would say like 30-year-olds, because that's the worst of them.
Yeah.
That just act immature
Children.
and like they act like children. And so
Excuse
no, you're good. I had just gotten age verified today.
Sorry, am I lagging? I think I'm
Because
lagging.
I just bought VRChat Plus.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I expected there to be a maturity difference than some. I would have expected a little bit more brain power.
I
and brain
wish.
function in
I
some
know.
of these.
Right.
But like, I'm just
Right?
How are ya?
Like shit like that, and I mean, I don't know how old this guy is, but he's using that kind of shit.
Like I'm not gonna point fingers and say this guy's acting like a child. This guy's not. But it's just like
that's true.
I mean, like
Yeah,
even
not
right
fair.
before I got down here, I was like some girl asked me what was wrong. I said everybody, like every adult on this app is like a child acting like a child. She corrected me like a middle schooler from an app to a game. Like, it's just like, dude, you know what I'm talking about, but you have to be a middle schooler and like,
oh no, it's
Be
actually,
pedantic.
it's not an app, it's a game.
like, dude.
I think that's so funny because it's like,
Dude, it's just like, dude, you're a
What's the
grown
fucking
woman.
point?
You're a grown woman.
isn't it both? Like,
Hopefully.
can't it be both?
It can be both. It can
Exactly,
be two
it can be
things.
both. Technically, VRChat is an app.
It's
Every
an app on
game,
MetaQuest, and it's a
every
fucking
game,
on
anything you
Steam.
download that you
It's game
open
on Steam.
is
It's
an anything.
Apple MetaQuest. It's fucking this. It's that. It's like
Anything you open that's an execution file is an application. Pretty much. Maybe I'm not some
Exactly.
tech. I'm not some tech
Reasonable.
nerd.
So-
But you know,
Right.
like
And then
like
this-
iTunes,
I can go
iTunes
another-
and Rocket League are applications. But Rocket League is also a game. You
This
know,
is
it's like
iPad, the iPoodle, the iPoo Nano. I will be right back. I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna put my headset down because I have to do something real quick.
this guy's got to take a
you're good.
leak.
You're good.
Yeah, I gotta take a leak. My bad. Should just said that.
But it's interesting how few really mature people are in this game, which I'm not surprised. If you're playing this game, you have something wrong in your life and your social situation.
Well, I think
generally,
it's like-
is consensus.
I am kind of a firm believer that like
Yeah.
good, well, this is a broad term, but like good people do bad things, you know. But I guess really what I'm trying to say is I think the toxicity of VRChat screams way louder than what it actually is. I think a lot of people in this game are pretty chill, but it's so goddamn easy to see everything that's wrong, you know. So easy
On the surface.
but like look at us here. Like, how difficult was it for us to sit down and like talk and you know, not accuse
Chat
each
about
other?
something that we're all
I think that's
somewhat
really
interested
what this guy is trying to say is like so many people are at each other's throats on here for what? Like what's the reason? Like
no
why?
fucking reason.
You know?
There's some people just sitting right there on the corner there, just fucking talking about some bullshit. I was like, oh, they're talking about browsers. I might chime in, and they were just so fucking toxic. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like I just put my 2 cents in there, and they just had to fucking be at me. I'm like, bro, it's not that big a deal.
I know. I joined, and this guy was talking to him.
Yeah.
I caught the tail end of it, and he was. I don't even think he was directing it at people, but he was like, "Why do people have to act so immature on this game?" And they were like, "Oh, I can't even be here right now. See ya," and like just left. And I was like, the thing is like, for me, I'm not gonna give my mental energy to be upset about it. I'm just gonna move on. You know,
Yeah.
like who gives a fuck?
Me too.
If that's how you want to act,
That's what.
go away. Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what that's what I fucking did. I
I've
left.
moved on.
I left this conversation. Yeah. I was just using it as an example of what we're talking about. I'm not actually very upset about it.
Right.
I'm just like, bro. Yeah.
I can tell this
It's
guy's a little
interesting to me
upset
that-
about it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Hey, everybody goes through it. It's like you can't give your mental energy to things after a certain point, though. Otherwise, it's just go crazy.
Yeah, dude.
like you said. It's interesting.
Real quick, does your avatar resemble you in person?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, fellow redhead, fellow brother.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Look at my profile icon.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
We're black now.
I know, everybody keeps fucking saying that.
I'm
Somebody at the
all
actual real
for
life
it.
bar said that to me, and I'm like, bro, we're all minorities and we're all brothers and sisters and minority now.
I know, I've had that too. And I'm like, hey, I would gladly, be accepted in this community. I'm all for it.
I'm not gonna push myself into it, but if people accept me more because of it, I'm not opposed.
Yeah, I mean, I just go with the flow with the bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the way to handle it. I've been trying to spend a lot of my time recently how people work, and honestly, real life.
Sorry, you cut out. What did you say? You're trying to what?
I'm trying to understand people and understand people better and more effectively. Because I'm autistic, and I'm starting to realize real life and social interactions are just like Game of Thrones, just with lower stakes. Really interesting.
Real life interactions are like Game of Thrones with lower stakes. I've never seen Game of Thrones. Do you mind elaborating a little bit?
It's like everybody's jockeying for power in one way or another. They just pretend they're not for over dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. Everyone wants to be the top dog.
Everybody wants to bring down the leader or build themselves up as a leader. It's fucking sad, is what it is. I grew up on fucking Tolkien, Lord of the Rings type stuff, where it's fantasy, heroism, and I'm like, bro, why are we all fucking acting like dumbasses out here? We could all just fucking marshal together over to solve a fucking problem, but no, we got to be at each other's throats. It's fucking stupid.
I mean, look back in history, I feel like it's always.
I understand.
It's always been like that.
I understand why. I understand why.
Yeah.
You should. It's too late now. I was gonna tell you, the Telos initiative is really fucking cool, but they just shut their doors, so you missed that train if you weren't a part of it. That's
what
really
is it?
good
The
people
Telos
in there.
initiative?
Telos initiative. They're trying to increase the height of the fucking general consensus of conversation in VRChat in a way, increase the floor, the skill ceiling, I guess is one way to say it. But in a way that increases the intellectualness of the conversations.
Gotcha. So they were going more for more deeper, meaningful talks. Okay.
Deeper shit, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Analyzing things and such.
Yeah. Mine's
but that's over now. If you ever see a guy named Intelligencer, he's really cool. He's got a really cool voice too. Really cool guy. He's got all kinds of fucking plans for things in general. You probably won't see him very often. Might run into him eventually. He's usually in a cloister somewhere though, reading or writing or something. Unless he's going out to visit specific people, from what I've noticed. But
Huh. And his name is Intelligence?
Intelligencer.
Intelligencer.
So intelligence, ER, ER is after intelligence.
Intelligencer. Okay. All right, I'll remember that.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find my passion right now. I thought I had it for a little while, but it just keeps shifting, and that's fine, Just got to go back to the source and the root, and move forward from there.
You're trying to find your passion. Do you have you narrowed it down to anything yet?
A little bit. I have a 3D printer, and that was really fun. I'm thinking that could be helpful for another aspect. I'm thinking about going to school for cybersecurity here soon. We'll see if that
Sorry,
happens or
there's a
not.
motorcycle driving by.
Good. I don't hear it.
Oh, good.
But I've always had a passion for computers. I actually learned to print before and type before I could read or write.
Oh, really?
Interesting. Yeah, Windows 95 desktop. Parents had a fucking printer attached to it, and I figured out how to open up the notepad and type into it. I realized there was a button up at the top that would make the thing I typed out come out on the printer, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
And
I did that for hours.
And how old were you when you discovered this?
About under 5, somewhere around there. Actually, no, probably around 2 or 3.
So this is one of your earliest memories.
It's a formative memory, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the fucking house and all the rooms that I would get into, and the fucking basement. Oh my fucking god, that place was terrifying. I had a fucking sticker that I put on the fucking basement door. It was just a fucking, what was that? I think it was a werewolf or something. So like the wolf man or something. And it just, I put it there because I'm like, there's a monster in the basement. You gotta be warned. You gotta warn it for everybody. Warn everybody that there was a monster in the basement. It was fucking ridiculous. Little kid stuff, you know.
I like when you look back on an early memory and like something about it is so different than how you perceive things now. Does that make sense?
It does, actually, and that's actually a really good way I gauge if I'm growing or not. Is if I look at a previous memory and realize, oh, that was really dumb to act like that, and I should not act like that in the future. If I can look at a previous memory, or something, or like have a big, broader perspective on a previous memory, that's how I know I'm growing.
I like that a lot. I've actually never really thought about it like that.
Yeah. It's something that I've always noticed. Actually, when I was, I think, high school, there was a memory of this, I think it was Caesar 3 on fucking old-ass computers. I had somehow I got a copy of the demo disc, and I was playing it on my grandmother's house, and I just could not figure it out. It's a fucking city builder type of thing, and kind of like StarCraft, but like with medieval guys, and it's economy based, and it's not multiplayer at all, I don't think. But the demo was just trying to build up this small city. I didn't understand why I kept losing. There was no taxes. I wasn't collecting taxes was the big part of it, and that was like why I kept running out of money. But
and how old were you when you were trying to figure this out?
Probably 7, 8.
Yeah.
And then later on, when I was in middle school, I'm like, I still can't figure this shit out. What the fuck? But like after now, I think I could probably figure it out pretty easily.
Yeah.
Get through the demo at least. But between the 7, 8-year-old spot and when I was fucking in middle school, I realized there's this spot I can look back and think, wait, I could try this instead. Why would I understand I can read a little bit now, so I can fucking figure this out maybe.
Right.
I know there's a lot more higher level concepts.
But that's smart.
But like,
I mean,
looking back, yeah.
To have that perspective at 8, like, oh, all right, I have these tools at hand. Like where can I go with this? That's pretty intellectual. That's a very intellectual thought to have at 8 years old, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's something that I was noticing, like, just core memories of mine, especially once I hit school age, grade school, middle school. It's like every time I would mess up and think about something I messed up about, because I was the odd kid out all the time. I was the kid that always did the weird shit in class, but I was always very aware that I was different. But I would look back at the end of the day, every single day, and be like, okay, this sucks. Why is this happening to me? And trying to figure that out as a little kid.
Right.
And then I came to the conclusion or the realization that when I look back, I can sometimes have a higher perspective, a different perspective, or a bigger perspective than when I was in the moment. So I just kind of stuck with that as an analysis tool of how I'm doing over the course of my life.
Right.
Actually, recently rediscovered that because I was getting kind of a hiatus on that for a long time because I was getting stuck in a spot for a while. Forgot about it until semi-recently.
Right. What's the phrase? Everything makes sense in hindsight, you know?
Yeah, hindsight's 2020.
Right. I mean, how else can you really go about it, you know? Besides, like, ignoring it and then not growing.
Yeah, growth is a big deal to me. I don't really have any desire to stagnate because it literally, that's basically the same thing as dying before you're dead. I mean, that's fucking...
Are you getting out of your comfort zone fairly often?
I'm realizing that more and more that I need to.
Yeah.
And I've noticed, that's another thing I've been telling people that I know. You know, you do the most growth when you're a little bit scared, but you do it anyway.
Right.
That's how we grow as people and
It's
how we
funny,
realize that we're more powerful.
I was just talking to someone. I was talking to two people in two different times, but I told them anxiety seeks certainty, right? You can't figure out what's going to happen in the future. There's no definite answer to what's going to happen, you know, later on. You know, if you're worried about something that's going to happen and you're trying to find all these solutions, you're just going to go in spirals. Like, you're not going to get anywhere, you know? So it's important to be like, you know, face it head on. Once you're in it, you figure it out as you go, and then you learn from it. And then the next time you do something like that, you have that much better of a mindset, you know, to go into what you're doing.
Anxiety is called by action.
What'd you say? Anxiety is called by action?
Quelled
by
reduced
action.
by action.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. Because you're anxious leading up to this point, and then once you're in it, it kind of fades because, like, you're in the moment. You have to figure it out.
It reminds me of a formative moment I had in my life where I was hanging out at a water hole with my brother and some of his buddies, and they were all jumping off this. You know, it's probably like 10 feet. Not a waterfall, but it's like these platforms made of dirt that goes into the water hole, and then they jump off and they get down. You know how kids do. And I was really nervous. Like, I wasn't. Yeah. I was like, I didn't want to fucking jump off, but I was like, no, I should do this. Something in my heart told me I need to do this. I got up straight up to the ledge and oh god, I don't like this. It's not even that fucking tall. Then I jump, and that moment of free fall just for half a second just fucking terrified me.
Yep.
I hit the water, hit the bottom, and I'm like, oh my god. Swim up really fucking fast. I'm like, that was amazing! I fucking did it 20 more times. It was so good.
Isn't that such an amazing feeling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because not only is that anxiety, and not only is that getting over anxiety, but it's getting over adrenaline.
That's something about
adrenaline is
my
good
life.
for
I
you.
hate adrenaline. I've always hated the feeling of adrenaline.
I've never been on a roller coaster, and I don't plan to. But what's funny is, like, I'll snowboard, you know, and go just as fast as a roller coaster, but I won't go on a roller coaster.
You're in control, though. You're
right,
in control.
exactly.
If you get killed, it's like entirely your fault.
I'll ride on the back of it. I'll ride and drive a jet ski, but I won't sit on the back of it.
Yeah. I used to be the same way. Like, I wouldn't want to drive. I hated the idea of driving. Is this friend of yours?
Hello. No. All right, where were we?
In the fucking way. Right. I don't fucking remember. I was talking about something about the watering hole or something.
Let's backtrack really quick.
Yeah.
We were talking about how facing anxiety and facing uncomfortability is what grows you. And then
helps you grow. Yep. Yeah.
My memory is so shot. Dude, I will like talk and then like halfway through talking I won't remember how I start talking and then I end
I do
it
the
really
same
weird.
thing. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Like, I'm the same fucking way. I've got like zero situational memory for like conversations and shit. Oh, but this has been good. I think I'm probably got my wisdom out for the most part. So appreciate
I
you.
will say, I'll give you one last question. I'm gonna go around asking people this. What's been on your mind?
But on my mind. Money. Money's on my mind.
Money. Mo money.
I'll tell you what. In about 4 years, if I've got my computer science degree, I'll hit you up, and I'll tell you whether or not I made the fucking money that I thought I was going to. I don't want to tell you what the fucking scheme is yet. It's super easy. But if it works, I will hit you up, and I will tell the world that this is a fucking crazy thing they need to fucking do to, you know? 'Cause it's like, yeah, it's super cool.
A musician can't share their secrets. They can't share their tricks until they're retired.
Yep. What the fuck? Crazy. Is that you? Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you having me onto the podcast.
Yeah, Robo. How old are you, man?
32.
32? Gotcha. It seems like you got a
Are you
level
trying to
head
flirt
on
with
you.
me?
Oh,
I appreciate you.
I've been wondering. Yeah, I've been considering it. I'm messing with you. I'm joking with you.
You motherfucker. I thought you were talking about having a good head on me. I'm like, wait, okay, fair. I've been thinking about how smart I am. I appreciate that. That's how fucking dense I am right now.
No, I genuinely mean that. I think you got a good head on your shoulders. You have a good perspective
Appreciate
on
that.
life and how to go through it. And I think that's awesome, man.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the compliment.
Yes, sir.
You know?
All
Absolutely.
right, man. Well, best of luck, dude. I hope you pursue in
appreciate
computer
you.
science, man.
I wouldn't cybersecurity.
Or cybersecurity. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's something that I've been curious about for a long time. So, but yeah, you have a good one too. I hope you find some good people to interview.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hello, it's Post-Pod Jake again for one last time. In this is the last conversation. It's the longest conversation. I am back on VR, and I go into a deep talk with I won't tell you what it's about, but I had a few drinks, so you might notice that I'm slurring a little bit as I'm talking, but the conversation is still just as genuine as it ever is. So, all right, enjoy the last conversation we got.
Yeah, no, I guess I do have a few things I can certainly mention everything in the podcast. I do have some stuff, but
You have a few things to say, Flowerfell?
A few. Yeah,
What would you like to talk about?
I don't fucking know. Wait, are you? Sorry. We're not on the podcast now, are we? Because I wasn't fucking thinking about that.
Am I on the podcast now? It's up to your interpretation on what that is exactly. I'm fucking with you.
I'm assuming the conversation.
So I try. I'll let you know this. I try not to tell people when I'm recording, because I feel like when I tell people I'm recording, they know that in the back of their head, and they're like trying to like think harder and stuff. I try not to do that. So as far as you know, I'm not recording right now. This is exactly like what we've been talking about. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So no, I'm not recording right now.
Okay. But yeah, I guess in terms of high stories or anything, there's another one I have.
What is this high story that you have?
It was the first time I tried dab, and God, it was so fucking stupid. So the first time I tried dab and everything was with my eldest brother, as per usual, with a lot of the first things I did.
Right.
And when we did it, my brother, like, he did it first and everything, all sort of stuff, but he wasn't telling me how to like do it specifically, and I didn't know that while he was heating up, I didn't know you had to like. No, I don't think. No, he didn't teach me. Sorry, he expected me to know how to do it, and when he handed me like the little
how
straw,
old were you when you were trying this dab for the first time?
I'm pretty sure that I was around like. I'm pretty sure I was like 14 or 15. I'm pretty sure. I think so.
And your eldest brother. How old was your eldest brother when he's trying to show you all this?
22, 23.
Gotcha. And so he already thought that you knew how to take a dab.
I don't know why he thought. No, I think he did show me, because like I did show me how to do it, but he didn't tell me how to do it. Right? He just did it, and he didn't like tell me like, oh hey, watch this carefully and everything. I just saw him do it and all sorts of stuff. He started first, and when he came to me to do it and everything, I didn't know what to do. Weird memory going on here. And
that's all right.
As I had the straw, right? I was like, okay, I guess I'll fucking do it, I guess. And I fucking. So normally, what you would have to do with dabs and everything, especially have like a hot metal end to like smoke a dab, you do a little tab, like a little pipe. I didn't do that. I stuck that shit in.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
I didn't know what I was doing. I stuck that shit in, and I was like,
yeah, you're like fucking so dying.
Bad. Like, it fucked me up so bad.
You know what's funny is in I believe in the episode right before this one, I was talking to a buddy of mine who did a dab for the first time, and
oh god,
everyone who takes their first dab rip always has like that
horrible first experience.
Not necessarily horrible, but they just always take way too much. And
yeah,
like and dabs are just like that in general. Like when you take dabs, you're taking a lot, you know. And
it's just a concentrated form of weed and everything, but it has a overall duration.
And that like what you see in like those cartridges is just a really refined version of dabs. You know, it's very it's a lot more concentrated than dabs are. Dabs are like I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but dabs are like the slag to what goes into those cartridges, right? It's all that it's raw extracted material from the plant, and that's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get way more out of a dab rip than like anything else besides inedible. You know.
But like when I stuck it in, like it just fucking killed me. Like if I could describe the sensation, right? It was like everything on my body was like pins and needles, and like every breath I took felt like I wasn't taking a full breath in, and when I was breathing in, it felt like I was taking more air than I should have, but not enough, right? It was like this slow.
It sounds like you
rise.
It sounds like you just took a fucking dab rip. This is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Sounds like you just took
Pretty
a massive
much.
fucking pull off of a dab.
And
it was
oh god, I almost got caught too, actually. When that happened.
When you say you stuck it in, are you talking about there's a couple ways to do dabs, right?
Yeah.
Did you have one of those? I think what they're properly called is a nectar collector. It's like a little tube, right? You heat up what's
like
in the
straw.
thing, yeah, and you inhale through that. That's a nectar collector. That's still that's still dabs.
That's what I did.
But that's like a fucking brutal way to take a dab rip.
Bad, and like I almost got caught too.
Yeah, because you said you were what, 14?
And we did it in my fucking closet. The very room I'm in right now. And it was
the very room you're in right now. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
Well,
I
okay,
keep cutting you off. Go
closet.
ahead.
Sorry.
I'm gonna shut up.
Sorry, not the closet, but like in the closet of my room. And when that happened, right, I almost got caught, and my mother came in on us, and I had my blanket over my face and everything while I was sleeping. Oh, sleeping, because I had it over on top of me. And she's like, and she was suspicious, but not at me. And she's like, Kyle, what is going on? I'm just like, I'm just tired and everything, all this sort of stuff, while like my brother was like sitting right there on the bed, and fucking like a lot of questions going through her mind and everything, even though it smelled like shit in here, in this room specifically. And it was a fucking mess all around, but I didn't get caught, thankfully. I'm assuming my brother did. In fact, the smell was there, and she always assumed shit on my brother. But like, after like she came in, I was quick to go ahead and take a fucking long ass shower. And honestly, it was the best shower I had in my entire fucking life. I'm not gonna deny. It was pretty fucking good. It felt pretty nice. People say like, "Oh, you're high." People say, "Oh, your high is ruined when you take a shower." Like, no, the fuck, it's not. It feels great. Especially like fucked up.
It's different for everyone.
I guess.
Getting high is always different for everyone. Everyone tolerates it differently.
It's just crazy how like all like when that happened with me and everything, it was just like it was such a nice experience, dude. And I fucking loved it. It was great. Despite the fact that it was like a horrible experience, I still enjoyed what I had there because it's a funny story I like telling because like, bro, you not believe how many times I've almost gotten caught, and there's like some funny situations with that. Some not as funny, but like with that specifically, that was some goofy shit. Like I'm surprised, like how the fuck did I even get past that? Even though it clearly smelled like it, like it was in my room. She didn't think it was me, by the fact that she caught me beforehand, like once, and that was like years ago. It was weird. But besides
what is your association now with cannabis?
With my association?
Yeah.
All I can say is that I just don't.
Well, actually, wait, how old are you now?
I'm 19.
Right.
And my association with cannabis and everything, I take it as, you know, I do as more of like. Do you mean like generally, or do you just mean like cannabis itself?
Like generally, like like generally, like What is your association generally with cannabis nowadays?
It's more of like a monthly-ish thing and everything, where I'm like here with like friends and we're with like friends and family, because. Whenever I usually do take it and everything, it's always pretty nice whenever I do it with others, but like I don't get fulfilled by it because like I always have to smoke it by a lot of my friends and family, and it's not fun. I don't like smoking because it just doesn't feel good to do, and I feel like I never got a rhythm to it right, even though I feel like I should get it right. I haven't got it right. And it just fucking hurts because I'm always like this greenhorn and everything, you know?
When you're taking hits nowadays, are you trying to do the same amount that you did, you know, when you
back
were
then?
really? Yeah, like, yeah. Were you trying to do the same kind of hits back then?
Oh, like in terms of smoking? No, the dabs, fuck no. I'm more careful as I was now. I do the tap method as you usually should do. No shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes with like smoking and everything with other types of stuff, I try, but like it just doesn't go well, and I always don't do it because I feel like I'm always close to vomiting whenever I get high, whenever I smoke, and it's not fun. It's not good for my throat.
Oh, interesting.
It doesn't feel nice.
So it's not.
And I feel
it's
like
not a matter of how high you get. It's a matter of what it feels like after.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I like getting high, but the thing is, like every time, like whenever I feel like I eat too much, or whenever I'm in this weird sensation where like I was close to vomiting one time. It was really close, and this wasn't like this other instance where like I was kind of somewhat pressured on my birthday. It's like, oh yeah, smoke some more and everything. This is your day. I'm just like, no, just shut the fuck up. I don't want to fucking do this. I'm going to fucking vomit. I didn't have my water with me. I have to always bring my water with me because if I don't, I'm just gonna be shitty.
When you're taking your hits, are you like really fucking pulling like with like flour and stuff? Are you really like trying?
Apparently,
you're trying to get a big hit, and you're trying to get as high as you want to get in this one fucking hit that you take, or two.
To some extent, yeah. But like, I don't try to take that much of hits that are deep lately, because after a certain point, it just becomes like, well, it just hurts. You know, my throat hurts doing this. And
I feel like you know it just as well as I do. Like, do like smaller hits, but then take like do when you take one hit, do a little bit of a smaller hit, but then do a few more smaller hits, and then you might be a little more comfortable, I think.
And that's what I do on occasion
Yeah.
and everything, because like I get more smoother experiences doing that and everything, and it doesn't make me feel as garbage or anything. My throat only feels a little scratchy, and that's just sort of it. But it's always like small hits like those where it's just like after taking 1 or 2 hits of those, I don't get a chance to do it again because that's it. That's all that.
Right.
Because they're weird about how I smoke and everything, because you know it's always bad experience after bad experience that they sort of have it stuck with them and everything. I don't think it's the good stuff, which I guess is fair.
Right.
And I think that could also stem with how, like, I'm seen as the youngest, because the relative inexperience type bullshit can lead to shit like that, and that's the most unfortunate part. And, you know, I hate how that has to happen, but, like, it happens, you know. I'm treated more different because, like, I can't necessarily handle my shit properly because I don't know, apparently how to smoke properly, I guess. But the fact, like, there's a way in how I do it, but like it just doesn't feel right. It just hurts, and it's.
So you're trying to say that like you're not handling it the same way that your siblings are handling it, and in that way you are seen differently? Almost.
I think to that extent, yeah, pretty much. Because like they have to be
fuck that
more...
shit, dude. Everyone handles differently. Everyone handles cannabis differently. You know.
Yeah.
You are not gonna be able to handle cannabis the same way your eldest brother handles it. You know. The same way.
Not my eldest and everything. It's more so my middle and my sister.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Either way, like, no matter who you're with, everyone's going to handle cannabis differently, right? If I was in this group and they saw me do like the little tiniest hits that I do, because I don't take big hits at all. I take the smallest fucking hits known to mankind. And if they give me shit for it, so be it. If they give you shit for it, like, all right, go ahead. You know, it's not about what they think. It's not about what their comfortability is for it. It's about what yours is. You know.
Yeah.
And if they give you shit for it, so be it. You know. They are not you.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
They aren't. And that's just kind of the biggest thing. And what's funny is that my cousin understood that. And I didn't smoke with him much. I rarely smoked with him. And he understood that. And that's the most ironic part, because, like, my cousin is, like, he's a chill guy. He's been through a lot of shit and everything. He's seen his fair share of parts. Yeah. So he's been through a lot of stuff. But, like, he understood that from me, specifically. And he was actually considered, like, he was the same person that, like, gifted me some edibles. It was like some caramel edibles they gave me and everything, and I was thankful for that, because, like, I told him, like, I don't really get that much of a chance to get high all that much and everything, and I don't really have a lot of opportunity to do it. And he gave me like a pack of just like caramel edibles, and it's like, here you go, man. I hope you enjoy that. I'm like, thanks. That means a lot. Like, I wish I could talk to him again, because like I miss him. I wish I get the chance to talk to him more, but I mean, what's here is there. But
is your
lately,
cousin is your cousin close to you, like, not just emotionally, but like physically? Like, can you go see your cousin if you really wanted to?
I think I can if I really wanted to do it, but unfortunately for me, I don't have a car yet. That's a different matter entirely. But I have a lot of opportunities.
Can you, like, keep in contact with your, like, are you able to keep in contact with your cousin where, like, he could come pick you up and hang out and shit like that?
I think I still do, yeah. Because, like, before then, like, we were like, I didn't have his number for a while. It was only until recently I got his number again, where, like, I had to keep in contact with him. I probably
hit
gotta
him
call
up,
him
dude.
soon,
Hit him up. Might as well, you know. If that's the guy, if that's your bro that's gonna understand you the most, like, to get comfortably high with, that you know is not gonna give you shit, might as well, you know. Yeah. Especially if you enjoy, like, being high, you know, when it's the right time, might as well, dude.
Yeah, no. I think, like, as I've got more older and everything, I don't hate my siblings or anything, because I know they're worried about whatever I take from some stuff, at least from doing weed and everything. But after a certain point, I'm just like, man, I don't know. It's just kind of tiring when you're seen as the youngest in that instance.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying earlier.
I know exactly what you mean, man. 100%.
Yeah, because
you
like
have an expectation to follow, and yeah.
And you're kind of expected to have these sort of results that you're gonna, like, instantly pick it up, when in reality you just kind of can't. You know, you're not as well in depth as smoking as they are and everything. And my brother does it like every single, like, week or so. My sister, like, always does it whenever I see her, like, whenever I'm hanging out with her.
Yeah.
I love them both, but yeah, they're both very, like, it's hard to get a conversation going on, at least the topic about, like, weed and everything, without it being, like, an odd situation, without it being at my expense.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, there's always gonna be this thing where, like, they always saw the bad stuff, or at least they saw most of the bad experience that I had with weed and everything. Because it was always the close to induced vomiting, the fucking every time I hung out at my sister's, I always somehow found a way to vomit. Always. And that might be due to the fact I was eating too much. But my sister got weirdly suspicious, as if I was smoking too much and wanted to limit how much I was gonna, like, smoke and everything, which that wasn't the case. I was just eating too much. That was a different matter entirely. and he got weirdly like playfully suspicious about it. I'm just like, stop! Like, I'm not. No, I don't like. I don't even do that much anyway.
Yeah. Well, if I can steer the conversation in another direction.
Yeah, sorry.
What is no, you're fine, man. What is what's life like for you now? You know, I besides smoking weed, what's going on in your life now? What are you pursuing? You know, stuff like that.
I'm a writer. I've been writing I've been writing a story for quite a while now. 2 years, I'm pretty sure. Might be getting close to 3. I don't want to think about that, but I've been writing it for quite a fucking long time, and it's been, I'd say, like, emotionally fulfilling for me because it gives me a chance to write about stuff I wouldn't normally do. And back then, I was in like doing roleplay and everything way back then when I was in like Amino, and I got to meet some people that were like here and there, like fucking great and fantastic, but most of them were just all degenerates that are only looking for one thing, and it was all just a whole bunch of mess.
What is the story that you're writing?
It's called Warmth. It's a story about 2 characters, Nani and Layla, and it was meant to be like this Ruby AU I was making of like an original cast of characters I was having it with because I thought it would have been interesting. And I was writing, this was around like post Fall of Beacon, you know. I don't know if you know what Ruby is, but what Fall of Beacon was like the school and everything that they were in, and after like a year or so, it was like everything went to shit. After like a 9/11 that happened. Or at least they were equivalent to 9/11.
Okay.
I don't know.
What and what is this based off exactly? Sorry.
It was based off of Ruby, RWBY.
And what is that?
Initial. Oh, it's How do I? Oh god, this is gonna be really hard because I don't know what Ruby is entirely. It's in story-driven action show consisting of 4 characters. Ruby, Weiss, Blake, and Yang form a team of Team Ruby, and it follows their adventures as they're going through making this long countrywide thing to fucking get these 4 relics and shit to fucking save the world, maybe? The reason why I say that in a confused manner is that it's not written well. In fact, the show itself is kind of shit. It always was kind of shit, but I liked it for what it was, and I liked its lore a lot. And I just went ahead with saying, you know, I wanted to write my own cast characters. I wanted to.
So you're basing this story. You're basing your story off of this universe.
Yes, or like the story of Ruby in like the variant of like. With an original cast of characters and everything, and see how that would follow along.
Gotcha.
And if you're wondering what the team is, it's Team Lemonade. I thought that
Team
was
Lemonade?
Yeah, I thought it was like LMNA. I thought it was kind of cute.
Oh, Lemonade. Okay.
Yeah. My best friend helped with a lot of the art that I was making it for and everything, and she was fucking great, although not consistent with what we were trying to figure out what we were supposed to do with like the characters and character designs, but it was still great nonetheless.
Right.
But there's also the same person that did, unfortunately, you know, fucking left everything behind that we had together and all sort of stuff over some petty bullshit, and ever since then, I kind of just like been somewhat demotivated on writing the story mostly because I knew for 5 years, and it didn't help that I was like majority of my life I was like writing out something that I was making partially for her. I was making it partially out of spite for her, and see if I can do something on my own. And with all that in mind, I did technically do those two things. Or sorry, those three things. Is eventually now it's just two things. It sucks that now and everything, because like I'm at like the length of like I'm pretty sure like the second or third Harry Potter book or something in terms of work count, and I'm still not finished with it yet. But like I'm getting nearby. I just haven't finished it like initially with its first draft, because I'm in kind of like draft hell, because I haven't like finished what the story beats are going on and everything. I keep editing and going back, and, you know, adjusting all the other parts previously, because the story is so long that I need to just go back, read through it, adjust some things.
But ultimately, you are making the story because you love to do this. You're not making it out of spite necessarily for other people.
No. It wasn't just that. It was obviously because I wanted to write something I wanted to enjoy writing. And
what inspired you to become a writer?
Well, oh shit, Twitter fell. What inspired me to become a writer and everything was, well, as a lot of things were on a whim. It was it all started when I was like doing stuff in Amino days, and I found it really fascinating that people were doing roleplay, and I enjoyed that so much, right? That like, oh hey, maybe I could start getting myself into it a little bit here and there, and I did, and I got so obsessed with it that, you know, I met a lot of people, you know, some bad, some good, mostly bad, but I would say ultimately it was fulfilling for me because it helped me become a self-taught writer. With some help, obviously, and some courses that I had to learn. I'm not in college right now, but when I was in school, I learned just a few things, learning grammar and everything, and now I can say I'm a writer. It's just like I haven't finished something yet. But I would
fucking say you're a writer. You're 3 stories in to this original thing that you made?
Not 3 stories in. I'm saying like I'm of like
3 Harry Potter books worth. You know,
of like one of the books. I'm saying like I would like to work out past like book 3 of like Harry Potter and everything. Where the fuck? That's how long it is. Initially, I was making a joke like, it's gonna be like the length of like the fucking Philosopher's Stone. That's gonna be it. No, it's not that. I'm currently on the 3rd one in terms of like word count. Comparatively, it's just.
So you're trying to say that like from the first Harry Potter book to the 3rd, that's how much you have right now in terms of story.
Oh, not collectively. I'm comparing like
just the 3rd
each of those. Just like either the 3rd or 2nd book to like my word count in my story.
Okay, that's still a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
It is the length of like a story and everything. It's a book. You can read it through and everything. It takes a lot. And I realize I gotta deal with some more formatting stuff and everything. That's gonna be a whole thing I'm having to trudge through at the moment, which, God, it's so fucking tedious. Because I already
yeah, but when is it not? I mean, to create anything of that magnitude, like, I mean, it's a lot.
Shit, bro.
You know,
it is. I know it is because
it's not gonna take you. It's gonna take you as in anyone. It's gonna take you years to get this all dialed in. I mean, do you think Harry Potter was made in fucking 2 years?
It took 5.
It took many
5
years
to finish the. Yeah. It took half a. That's century. Half a fucking decade just for it to be finished, and well, it became the best-selling fucking book ever. In my case now, I'm writing a story I'm ultimately fulfilled by, which I love doing. It's just that I don't have. The problem is, I don't have anyone to see it. I don't have anyone to look at it. and that's
What?
my biggest
What is
criteria
your name
because someone
again?
wants to read. Micaiah.
Micaiah. Who cares who's gonna see it? This is about you. This is about your creation. You know.
No, I know it is, but like at a certain point when you're, here's the thing. Here's my perspective on it. After a certain point, when you love making something, and you're sticking with it thick and thin for such a long time, wouldn't you want someone to see it? Wouldn't you want to know someone's thoughts on it?
For
and see
sure,
what they have to
but
say about it?
that's when you open yourself up to friends, you know, and possibly family, and be like, I made this story. I would love for you to go see it. You know, you
and that's what
take
I've been
that
doing.
initiative. Yeah, all right, and that's awesome. I love that.
But like the problem is, it's like no one reads. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Or at least everyone that I've met doesn't read, or at least read enough to the point where like they don't want to bother with it.
So
because I can't get.
Where could I find this story? Or at the very least, where could I find stories that you've made?
Unfortunately, I don't have much of a social media presence. I have not had myself put out there yet. I've just been having it on a Google Doc in a dream. But
Yeah.
I'd be more than willing to share it with you if you're wanting to read it or not.
Yeah. No, I would definitely sit down and read what you have.
Yeah.
When you finish this, right? When you when it's all said and done, you know, or at the very least, when you really feel comfortable giving this out, you know, of a first edition of what you've made, where are you gonna put this? Where is this gonna go?
It's if I'm gonna post anywhere, possibly in like either like an AO3 or make like this somewhat big campaign full of art and everything of the characters. Show it on my channel or something. I might, but it might not go anywhere because I probably don't have the degree of exposure. It just depends. I might do it like a YouTube way because like I might make like an announcement like, hey, I'm making this big old Ruby AU full of these cast of characters and everything. And I thought I could show one of my projects that, you know. Also, if you're wondering, like, is this like in the beginning? Is this in like anywhere else? This is set after the Fall of Beacon, and I'm going to, you know, have more of a concise follow through on making a story afterwards. Is that I make a concise follow through of a story afterwards and making a proper story. I wanted to make Warrants because I felt like I needed to get a big project done. It's not a pilot of anything. I wouldn't call it that because it doesn't introduce all the characters. It doesn't introduce their personalities all that well. And it's not short or concise. It's a long story.
Right.
That it doesn't say that you don't have to get. You can read in it and like, oh, this is actually really interesting. And that's what I've been kind of doing it for that.
Have you thought about taking this story and making it, you know, especially if it kicks off, like, have you thought about like making
my own thing?
Making the story into something like an animation, you know, or something more visual.
Always thought,
like a directed
I always
movie,
thought of that.
like a directed show or movie or something like that.
I thought about that a lot.
Obviously, write the story first and make it a book.
No, yeah, no shit. But like, I was really inspired by this rewrite of Ruby called Fixing Ruby, and it has been a helping hand on me being inspired by a lot of things. It's still ongoing too, which I recommend seeing if you want to get a good experience on Ruby. That is the actual show itself, unless you're there for the action. For the first 8 seasons, you're good, but afterwards it just goes to shit with shit story. But all I can say with Fixer Ruby and everything, it was a good hand in helping me realize a lot of things, or at least, you know. But like, it helped me be inspired by a lot of things, and I wanted to make more warmth. I wanted to make warmth properly, and I wanted to show it out there. And I was trying to do that with other aspects, like trying to go into servers, show it off, and everything. But two things. One, my criteria with it is the fact that I can't show it as much because there's one limiting factor that's kind of pulling me back that I can't take away because it's a necessary part of it. Is I know it's gonna sound pretentious as fuck. I'm so sorry. The sex scene that I have for my story. I know that sounds bad. I know that you're gonna take the assumption like, oh well, you know, sex scenes aren't really seen as this great thing most of the time and everything. They can be unnecessary. This is necessary for both of them, and I promise that it is. It's just that I can't pull it back, or I can't heavily limit it because you're missing a lot of context for it. Because it would just feel weird if it cuts after a while and everything, and then we're then saying like Layla having a panic attack for some reason after hallucinating about something specific.
Right. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. You know, like you need context like that. You need intimacy like that, for
it's a romance too.
You know.
Yeah. It's a romance that, and obviously the sex itself, it's only like until way later, and it's only then where like it's building up between the two of them and everything, where like I want to be effectively shown. All that aside, I would want to know someone's opinion on it, because like even I myself, while I am proud of it, I'm not sure if people would like it, because I've not gotten a proper look into it yet. Only one person has, and that was, well, my best friend.
Right.
Well, ex-best friend, but it's just now I'm just trying to figure out, see where it's going to take me. I just don't have that anchor of people like seeing it and making me feel like more motivated on it. Because like no one has been interested, and that's been kind of putting me on like, you know, it's been putting me like more like downtrodden and everything, because like I've not haven't,
no,
like, I haven't found anyone who
man.
wants to see it.
Hey, I'll read what you got so far. I'll read through it.
I'm
not much of a. I don't really read books and stuff, but what I do like is seeing people and friends that I've met. You know, seeing what they've worked on and you know, giving my best opinion on it and stuff. I like seeing what my friends have made. You know, so yeah, I definitely try to read through that.
I appreciate that, man.
To kind of wrap things up, where do you see yourself going? You know, what is you know, what's the, where do you want to go with all this? You know, career-wise,
like writing and everything.
Sure, you know, or just life, and you know, your life in general. You know, is whether writing is what you want to do or not. You know, where do you think you see things going in your life?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not entirely sure myself, but I think if I were to give a relative answer and everything, just that I'm just possibly just gonna be out there. I want to be out there. I want to see myself be successful in something that I can feel proud at making, and also have the opportunity to work with other people.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, wait, I have a phrase for you. Especially for people who make like stories and, you know, they're directors and stuff like that. All right.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to expand your name into this kind of stuff. A phrase that I hear a lot is one for you, one for me. Right? You write a story, you know, that gets published out there. That's not necessarily your story, right? But your name gets out there, and then at some point, right, you get the chance to publish something that you made, like Warmth, right? Like the story you have. And I don't know I'm not a writer, you know. I'm just some random dude on the internet. So I don't know how any of that works. You would know that better than I would. However, however you're gonna try and get your name out there and like help people.
Yeah.
You write these stories for people. Your name gets out there, right? You write a story for yourself and get that published. You know, one for you, one for me. That kind of mindset. But sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that, like, to be fair, I'm not as much as I like saying that. Oh, I'm this writer. I mean, I am. I'd say I don't know much more than you do to a certain extent because I'm still like giving in the process of feedback and everything. I started from nothing when I was like 13, and like sure 6 years has gone by and everything. And while that may like I may have done a lot since then, I built up myself. That doesn't mean like I didn't get help. You know, I had some degree of help that helped me give some degree of guidance and when you say what it was, but I'm still just as lost as you are with how some things are because I am just some guy, and I do want to make a name for myself. I do want to see like I actually do want to be popular. I do want to be a YouTuber. I do want all these sorts of things. Like I want to do more than obviously just writing, but writing has been my biggest thing.
I wonder if there is like some group you can join. Even locally, like a writers club or something. You know,
I mean, I do write poems as well.
Like don't restrict yourself to just online networking. Like go join a writers club and get your name out there with people who are also trying to pursue the same thing. You know.
Yeah.
Go join physical activities where you are in the environment of people that are trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do. You know, fuck the online YouTuber shit. Like, you're a writer. Like, you know, there's so much more than just content creation for you, I think.
I know, but like, I want to do a lot.
Have the YouTuber thing be a side hobby, and same with the writer thing to start off with, but to pursue a career as a writer, I feel, especially not to go through college, like, yeah, go join clubs and go find these people around you that are trying to do the same thing and see where that takes you, man. I really I really think that's what you should do. Just get yourself out there, like, physically, and see what people are doing around you.
Sorry, I was a little bit curious about something. Can I hear Discord at all?
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I was gonna say something that I was a little curious if you wouldn't mind seeing. Not my story and everything. That'll be for later. But I write poems. I write a lot of poems, a lot of everything, because like I don't have a lot of writing exercises to tackle on, and eventually I did a lot. Again, a lot of things I do are just on the limb. I wrote poems because I was going through a Doki Doki Literature Club playthrough with my best friend, and she. I wanted to write poems because I thought that would have been like a really interesting idea, and I wrote poems that was for my character Layla and everything, because sometimes we did some stuff and everything with some of my characters, and we had them on like playthrough, like some games we were going through, and as I did, like I thought, oh, this is really cool and everything. I want to do more of this, and ever since then I've been doing poetry for like a year or so.
Yeah.
And there's one poem that I made fairly recently, and I was a little curious if you wanted to see it or not.
Yeah. Do you want to read it out loud, or do you want me to see it? Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, you can go ahead and read it out loud if you want to. Well, it's because I kind of like seeing the reactions to it, because I just like someone who reads it, everything, and all sort of stuff. To be fair, lately I've been doing this weird kick where I put music over on my stuff and everything. So there is a theme to this, so be aware of that. I hope that isn't too much.
No, that's right. I'll read the poem. I got you. I'll read the poem out. Let's see here. Oh, this is long.
There's another one.
Well, I'll read this one, and then we can wrap up our discussion.
No, it's no.
Or do you want me to not read this right now? You want me to just read this?
No, it's none of that. I'm saying is like that is the first part of that's the first part of that. It's just I have to type the full thing because I ran out of space. And all
this is a long thing.
With the song and everything, go to the second one. Go to chapters and put that on repeat. Sorry if that's a little awkward. See those two arrows and everything like circling around.
Yeah, the repeat.
Click that. Yeah. The second song. Yeah.
I just did that.
And she's all yours to read out loud.
I got you. All right. This is gonna take a long time, but that's okay. All right. I'm not a great reader, but I'm gonna try my best. All right.
You're okay. I'm not here to judge.
All right. Love. It's the only thing you couldn't stop thinking on. Maybe it's the stares you get. Maybe it's the look that won't turn away. Maybe it's the pressure you felt. All that just to be led astray. Again and again. As others saw, you have not seen. As others gave, you could not lend. And yet, what did showing yourself feel like? It's like you couldn't look into anyone's eyes. Even if it's full of a positive stare, something in that expression they all give just wavers. Can you not decide on what would have been better? They can't all be perfect, but at the same time, why aren't you better than that? How much can your heart take when all that echoes in your mind tells you otherwise? The reverberation of it all against your ears should be fine. You have to be. But why can't you stand up? Why is it that you fall against your own knees? Your heart pumps at every moment you felt before, not just for her, but for many others. And why does that terrify you? That all you loved alone. Is it really love when all the moments you're given genuinely you take more seriously than you do yourself? Do you want that? That genuine amount of passion poured by her, taken and built up so carefully, yet as that passage of time truly slows, you cry. Not just because she does, but because are you truly doing more than she ever did for you? The fear that came when the beautiful look she gave wasn't full of that burning passion, but rather love. But what lies inside? Is it not your vanity? but your fear? Is it not your vanity, but your fear? Sorry, I messed up a little bit.
No, you're good.
Your fear of not having that true look again is what'll make you go insane. The obsessive timing in your heart is truly off by something you can't make out of the distance. The mystery that blinds you still is that, despite you holding everything at the balance and the look you desperately wish for, has yet to truly happen, has yet to truly look at you, has yet to truly make you pale. And yet, despite that, it's the only thing you can't stop thinking about. Not just by everyone, not just by them, but by her. Despite that, it's like you're her only audience. The symphonies you hear comes from her. How can you keep your soul within so that it doesn't touch hers? How many loved her bouts of glad grace so that you don't get dreamy? How could she look at you and love the sorrow in your face? You want to pull back, bite your tongue against everything else, and yet you just keep spilling in front of a beautiful maiden. And for the first time in a long time, you bowed for her. The stage felt so eerie that you were so worried it wouldn't have mattered. Thought it was going to be indifference, but it was like being cradled by you. After all the tears and fears I felt, you didn't stop for me. You just smiled. And I just couldn't stop myself from smiling at your dry wit or our banter together. In a way, you held me like an anchor so effortlessly. Although, I don't think I was an anchor, more so just a feather. While I was so easy to be blown away, I just come back floating in the air. My heart, at its constant flutter, leaves me to stop thinking about it. Although, I want to see you. I want to feel you. I want to hear you. Because your voice only made that stage so much more beautiful. And as the small bits of the outside took over, you were like a specter. Something I couldn't pull my eyes away from. Not in fear, but in awe. Dude. That's fucking... Yeah. Just the fact that you can come up with something like that. I think that's amazing. And not because it's like... Not because it's going to be this big, amazing piece of literature that you made, but because you made it. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Thanks, man. Means a lot.
Yeah, dude. Micaiah, is there anything you would like to say before we wrap up our discussion?
I just wanted to say all that because I think it's just necessary. You know, you're going to want to have people in your life eventually, because if you don't, then you know who's going to say it. You will be your own viewer, but the perspectives you have and share with others will always be the most important factor, because that will help you shape into who you can become and learn and gather from. That's beautiful.
I agree.
And I love that.
I love that too.
Sweet. Jesus Christ. Sorry that got really overtly melodramatic there, but you know, it's true. I love to see things for what they are, and
Me too. You're preaching to the choir right now, Micaiah. Okay. Micaiah, it was a pleasure chatting with you, man. I really wish you the best, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You too, Jake. It's honestly surprising considering the fact that I was not expecting to get into a relatively deep conversation like this before then and now. But all I can hope is that, hey, I hope we can talk more and everything, because you're really chill dude to talk to and everything.
Yeah, dude. I know I started this recording like late into our conversation, but for context, I friended you on VRChat like back in 2021, and we've been catching up, and I figured, you know, you are a very interesting individual, and I really like chatting with you, and I figured we might as well try to, you know, get a nice little conversation going.
Properly reconnect and everything.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I hope that I can, you know, show what I have to offer and everything, because like I have a lot of stuff.
Send me any links you have, and I will put it in whatever descriptions I can put it in when I release this episode.
Again, thank you very much for having me on here, and
yeah, man, I really wish you the best, brother. It was nice talking to you.
You too.
All right, before we wrap up our discussion, or before we wrap up the podcast, I want to mention a couple things about the previous discussion I just had with Micaiah. All right, I feel like at the end, when I finished reading the poem, I feel like I gave what seemed like a very like fake answer almost, because I was just like, I like that you did it, because I like that it was, I didn't like that it could go somewhere, I like that you did it. And I feel like that's gonna come off as like fake as fuck when people listen to it, but it was just like my immediate reaction. You know, I wish I said something better in that moment, and that's what I'm about to do right now. So Micaiah, if you're listening to this, this is my official thoughts on this is my post-conversation thoughts about it all. You have the knack to pursue writing even more. You're only 19, you know, you got a lot more to work with, you got a lot more to learn, and it starts with you going out and figuring this out, and not just online, but in person. And I can't stress that enough, is like the in person, you know, going to writers events, or I don't know, what have you. You know, that's a matter of figuring it out and just getting yourself out there. So yeah, you know, that's really what I think about it. But yeah, I like the poem because it has, you can feel the emotion behind it. The music added onto it helped a lot, but you can, like, I could feel the emotion in your writing, and you know, I think the better you get at writing, the more that's gonna come out. So yeah. All right. So that's gonna do it for this episode of Practically a Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. I like deep conversations. I really do. Not all the time, you know. Like, I don't want, you know, every day to be a deep conversation, but you know, I will sit down and talk about deep things, you know, and then problems and stuff like that, you know, walk through problems and whatnot. I like that kind of stuff.
yeah, I hope to have more deep conversations. I know I just said I don't like them all the time, but you know, I say a lot of different things and don't mean them, and then mean them, and you know, I say things that I don't mean to say, and then I look back on the pod and I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about right now? So, you know, I'll set an example here. In one of the past podcasts, we were talking about Gorillaz, my favorite band, and I mistakenly said Damon Attenborough and not Damon Albarn. Damon Albarn is the singer for Gorillaz, and David Attenborough, I don't even know. He's like the nature documentary narrator guy, and of course, for some reason, I got him confused. So, you know, shit like that, you know, I'll go back and listen. I'm like, what? Just fucking, I want to kick myself, you know, in the nuts. So, yeah. Wait, what is this? I'm looking at my stream camera right now. Oh, it just flips it. Alright. I'm gonna leave that in. Fuck it. I'm just figuring out stuff. If you liked what you listened to, consider following wherever you're listening to this. You know, rate the show and whatnot on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that. I'm on YouTube at JakePhobiaGuy. I'm on Instagram at JakePhobia. I'm on Twitch at JakePhobiaGuy. Or did I say Twitch? I'm on TikTok at JakePhobiaGuy. And finally, I'm on Twitch at JakePhobia. It's all good now. Everything's where it needs to be, so no more of that bullcrap. Yeah, you can find my socials either at JakePhobia or JakePhobiaGuy. And yeah. Oh, and huge thanks to my buddy for the new cover image. I don't know if he wants me to give out his name, so I won't. You know who you are. I appreciate you a lot. He just redid the graphic design for the cover image and stuff, so you know, it's all streamlined and looks very professional, and I like it a lot. So yeah. What else do I want to say? Sharing the podcast is best done by write it on like a rock and then throw it in someone's window. And when the police ask you why you did it, just say I had to. It was for the pod. Say it was for the pod and don't elaborate. None of this is funny. Just you know, share it with your friends. Share it to the people who want to look for more pods. And join the VRChat group. Practically a podcast VRChat group. Because I want to do events and stuff in the instance, in a group instance and whatnot, and have people have a better platform to share their stories. So yeah, is that it? I think that's it. Okay, I love you. Bye.